Try it right now. Run your fingertips across your own ribs. Dig into your own sides, your own neck, the soft skin under your arm. Nothing. You feel the touch, you feel the pressure, but the electric, squirming, laughing panic that hits you when someone else does the exact same thing is completely, stubbornly absent. Your own hand cannot reach it. But the real answer is far stranger than a missing sensation, because the reason you can't tickle yourself has almost nothing to do with your skin. It has to do with a prediction, a quiet, invisible prediction your brain is making about the future, thousands of times a second, without ever telling you. Start with what tickling actually is. There are two kinds. The first is the light, feathery kind, the kind that makes you brush away an insect you can't see. The second is the hard kind, the laughing kind, the kind that makes a child shriek and thrash and beg you to stop while somehow wanting more. Only the second one produces laughter. And here is the first strange fact: you cannot self-generate either one at full strength. Both go quiet the moment the hand belongs to you. Why would your body do that? Because your brain has a problem it solves so smoothly you've never noticed it exists. Your world is full of touch. Your clothes drag across your skin. Your feet strike the ground. Your fingers meet each other when you fold your hands. If your brain treated every one of those as new and important, you would be overwhelmed. You would flinch at your own shirt. So your brain does something elegant. It ignores the touches it caused itself. To do that, it has to know in advance which touches it is about to cause. This is where a scientist named Daniel Wolpert comes in. As Wolpert studies motor control, the science of how the brain commands the body to move. And he helped popularize an idea that sounds too simple to be true. Every time your brain sends a command to move a muscle, it also sends a copy of that command to itself, a carbon copy. Engineers call it an efference copy. Your brain keeps a duplicate of every order it gives. Why keep a copy? Because it uses that copy to run a simulation. Before your hand has finished moving, a structure at the back of your brain is already predicting exactly what that movement will feel like. The pressure, the timing, the location on your skin, down to the millimeter. Scientists call this a forward model. Your brain is running a tiny movie of the immediate future, a fraction of a second before the future arrives. Then the real sensation comes in from your skin, and your brain compares it to the prediction. If they match, it cancels the feeling out, turns the volume down. The touch was expected, so it doesn't matter. This is why you don't feel your own footsteps rattling your skull, why you can hold a pen without being startled by it, why your own hand on your own ribs registers as nothing more than pressure. The tickle was canceled before it ever happened. Now hold that idea, because a researcher named Sarah Jane Blakemore wanted to prove it. In the late 1990s, working with Wolpert and a neuroscientist named Chris Frith, she designed one of the quietest, most brilliant experiments in the science of the self. She put people inside a brain scanner, and she used a machine to tickle their palms. The machine had a soft piece of foam on a small robotic arm. Sometimes it moved on its own and stroked the person's hand. The scanner lit up. The brain reacted strongly, exactly the way it reacts when another person tickles you. Then she flipped it. She let the person drive the machine with their own other hand, so they were tickling their own palm through a robot. The sensation dropped. Same foam, same stroke, same skin. But because the brain had generated the movement, it had generated a prediction, and the prediction canceled the feeling. She could watch it happen. The part of the brain that registers touch went quiet, and another region lit up instead, the cerebellum. That fist-sized structure at the base of your skull turned out to be the prediction machine, the part deciding whether an incoming touch was self-caused and safe to ignore. But Blakemore wasn't finished, and this is where it becomes unforgettable. She started introducing delays. She built the robot so that when the person moved, the tickling arm responded, but slightly late or slightly off in the wrong direction, and she increased the mismatch bit by bit, a tenth of a second, a fifth, and she measured how ticklish it felt. The result was a smooth, beautiful curve. The more the machine broke the prediction, the more ticklish it became. When the touch arrived exactly when and where the brain expected, it felt like nothing. But add a delay of 0.2 of a second and people started tickling themselves. Their own hand was still driving the machine, but the prediction no longer matched reality, the cancellation failed, and the tickle leaked back in. Think about what that means. Ticklishness isn't really about touch at all. It's about the gap between what your brain predicted and what actually happened. It's a prediction error made physical. It is the feeling of your own body's forecast being wrong. So why did evolution build this? Why should a failed prediction feel funny and make you laugh and make you squirm? The trail goes back to Charles Darwin, who thought hard about tickling a century before brain scanners existed. Darwin noticed that you can't tickle yourself. He also noticed that being tickled by someone you trust makes you laugh, while the same touch from a stranger just feels threatening. Tickling requires surprise. It requires another mind. It lives in the space between two people, and that points to what it might actually be for. Look at where you are most ticklish. The ribs guarding the lungs and heart, the neck guarding the arteries, the belly guarding the soft organs, the armpits, the inner thighs. These are not random spots. They are exactly where a predator would strike, exactly what you most need to protect. Some scientists think ticklishness is a defense system, a hair trigger alarm wired to your most vulnerable surfaces, built to make you twist away and shield yourself the instant something unexpected lands there. Then why the laughter? Because the tickle usually comes from someone safe, a parent, a sibling, a friend. Many researchers believe tickling between people is a kind of ancient training. A young animal learns where its vulnerable spots are, learns to defend them, learns to read another's intentions through play that is safe precisely because the other creature is trusted. The laughter is the signal that says this danger isn't real. This is a game. And that is why you cannot tickle yourself. There is no game when there's only one player, no surprise, no other mind, no gap between prediction and reality. The alarm has nothing to sound for. Underneath all of this sits something bigger. Every waking second, your brain is drawing a line. On one side, everything you cause. On the other, everything the world does to you. And that line is how you know where you end and the universe begins. When you reach for a cup, your brain predicts the touch and quietly labels it yours. When a hand lands on your shoulder from behind, there was no prediction, so your brain labels it other, and your whole body turns to look. You can't tickle yourself because your brain already knows it's you. The prediction always matches. The self can never surprise the self. So the next time you fail, sit with what that failure actually is. It isn't a quirk of your skin. It is the sound of your brain successfully predicting the future over and over so seamlessly that the future never surprises you. It is the invisible machinery that lets you eat without flinching, walk without startling, and live inside a body that touches itself all day long without ever setting off the alarm. Try it one more time. Run your fingers across your own ribs. Feel that flat, quiet nothing. That nothing is not the absence of a feeling. That nothing is your brain telling you exactly who you are.